Welcome to the Lifestyle Overland Story. I'm Kevin. This is my wife Sarah, 11-year-old daughter Caroline, 2-year-old Abigail, and our travel pup Ace. We've been exploring the wilderness of North America and beyond since 2014 in our fleet of overland rigs, including our latest build, this 2021 supercharged Tundra, which is perfect for towing our Sleep Inside Voyager trailer by Expedition Trailers. In this video, we're headed into the deserts of Utah and Nevada in search of some legendary hot springs to hopefully help us stay warm as we weather the last few days of winter. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so buckle up and ride along. All right, well, howdy folks, and welcome to the west desert of Utah. And it's still a bit nippy. We've had some snow, some moisture moving in and out. And so we're gonna do a little bit of hot spring hopping, or at least do our best. Currently there's someone soaking in these pools, but we're gonna wait it out and see if maybe we can get in line, go have a little soak, and explore this just gorgeous landscape. Are you freezing?
I've got a coat.
It's a little dramatic right now. While we waited and hoped for the crowd to thin out in the soaking area, we hiked out to some of the source pools to see this geothermal oddity in the middle of the desert floor. See the fish?
Hi, are me fast?
It looks really hot, doesn't it? If you didn't know, hot springs are caused by geothermal activity far beneath the Earth's surface. In most cases, volcano activity causes fissures where groundwater can flow down to these superheated areas. Then as it warms, it rises back to the surface, bubbling up into pools like you see here. Most of these sources are far too hot to soak directly in. By the way, this one's around 180 degrees. So trenches or pipes are usually used to direct the flow to a pool further away, which gives the water some time to cool down. Sometimes a nearby cold spring is diverted to mix with the hot water for getting it to that perfect temperature. Well, more cars keep coming in. I guess everyone had the same idea. It is Saturday, so it's very likely we're just going to have to deal with a bunch of other folks. So I think we're going to go find another camp spot for now, and then maybe we'll swing back by here tomorrow. Ooh, is that cold?
Oh, there. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, we were a little bit bummed that the springs were busy, but it was to be expected with these being so easily accessible for the weekend soakers from the nearby towns. But we've got a long list of other options that are a little more out of the way during this trip, so we're looking forward to some of the other opportunities along our route. And so, we headed for the source of all this volcanic activity, a small cinder cone rising out of the ground with some camping spots along its base. But even this was occupied by some graceful resident. Whew. All right, well, that camping spot was also occupied by an eagle. I've camped there before. Last time it was dead of winter though, and obviously no nesting action. There is a big one. What was that, about a 6 foot plus wingspan? Huge eagle. And so we're like, well, we don't want to disturb her. We don't want Abigail to become a meal or Ace. So we're gonna stay over here and have a little camp without getting in anybody's way. Maybe in the morning we can go get some telephoto lenses out and get a shot of her. All right, let's get camp set up.
I'm pretty hungry. Are you pretty hungry? Okay.
After moving off a respectable distance from the eagle nest, Sarah whipped up a quick and easy meal of spaghetti, and we retreated to the warm trailer cabin as the icy breeze made sitting outside far too miserable. Well, a little later finish, a little colder finish, but we're here. You want to explain our camp hack for garlic toast?
Dots, Parmesan garlic, pretzels.
It's pretty spectacular.
It's pretty good. So you take a bite of spaghetti, get you a pretzel. A wishes.
Yeah, wishes. Who's that? Hey, I heard a rumor.
What?
Our presses are back in stock.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Both presses, including the Overlander.
And some new stuff.
And some new stuff? What? All right, well, good morning, folks. I don't know if it's this way for you, but usually the first night on a long trip is the roughest. From the adults to the kids, just getting used to being in the swing of things, sleeping in a new environment. And Abigail decided it was party time. So I think she was up till about 1:30 and then ready to go again at 7:30. Still, not terrible. We've seen much worse, but we're just trying to kick ourselves in the hind end and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful place. Shake it off, and tonight, Lord willing, will be much better. But man, I love this spot. The West Desert is just so beautiful. The next morning, I dug out my telephoto lens and we checked in on what looks to be a mama golden eagle. As it turns out, she had been sitting tight on those eggs all along, and it was Daddy Eagle who was soaring over our heads the night before. Though to be fair, there's still enough heat coming off this volcano that she could probably leave those eggs without too much fear, since there are heat vents scattered across its top, which I discovered on a previous trip. The next morning, we backtracked to the hot springs, but the Sunday morning soakers had pretty much staked their claim. So with the wind forecast looking quite dramatic with 60-mile-per-hour gusts bearing down on us, we decided to devote the day to hunting a sheltered camp instead. And I'm glad to say that our poor luck was about to change.
It's the coldest hand that run down this land where the ocean lands. It's the tallest sound, the damn smallest crowd, but their hearts break loud. Far from ever feeling lost with me, I'll push you back towards the land and sea. They're going down for love, and love is free. Stick with me and I will guarantee you'll never last alone. Never last alone in the crowd with me.
Man, I was not expecting this. This is crazy. This is gorgeous. The West Desert is so good though for just gentle, easy to drive roads with very, very cool canyons and stuff just scattered throughout its entire area. So we're enjoying the heck out of this.
Excuse me?
Sorry, there's no room for you.
Just a few miles down the trail, we found exactly what we were looking for. A proverbial fortress of solitude with high canyon walls that would knock off the worst of the winds. But shelter wasn't all this canyon offered. As we hiked further in, we found that someone else had beat us to the idea many years ago, except they loved it so much that they decided to stay. That person was Bob Stinson, a World War I veteran who returned home from war only to find that the woman he loved had already married someone else. As the story goes, this jilted lover then left his hometown in Iowa and set out to visit his brother in the Wild West. But fate had other plans. As he made his way through the pass, his homemade house on wheels broke down, and while searching for shelter, Bob found a small natural cave in these canyon walls. Using the plentiful nearby stone, he walled in the entrance and created what would become known as the Hermit's Cave House. Bob became known as the Hermit of Margin Pass and lived simply while he trapped animals, grew a garden, and raised a few sheep while doing odd jobs for the BLM, like keeping the pass clear, which at the time was actually a major route into Nevada, and spraying for grasshopper plagues of all things. Legends say that when visitors stumbled upon his outpost, Bob would often welcome them with a kind word and a glass of his homemade beer. But sadly, in 1951, the highway was built further south, and Bob lost his maintenance job. So, in his 70s, he moved into Delta, Utah for a quieter life, where he eventually passed away at 80 years old. His ashes were scattered at the base of the cave he called home, so he could continue his canyon solitude in peace, with the occasional visitor to marvel at his home among the rocks.
That was so cool.
Right?
Yes.
That's, I think, probably top 5 cabins ever.
Well, it makes me wonder when it was built.
Right.
And the shelving that he had cut to fit the rock.
Uh-huh.
And then over by the window, did you notice the stone shelving?
Oh, really? I didn't catch that.
There's just one, and then maybe 2 feet up, and then another one.
Wow.
That was amazing.
After several months of running this Iceco APL 35 as a freezer during our travels, Sarah has loved being able to extend the life of our provisions by keeping the more perishable items frozen, then rotating them to the fridge in the trailer as needed. Having ice for drinks and ice cream as a snack is also a luxury we have thoroughly enjoyed on the warmer desert days. The MSA 4x4 drop slide has also been flawless for making it easy for her to peek inside without crawling into the bed of the truck, which is a big win in the brownie points department on my side. As to our power issues from the Arizona adventure, I'll cover the solutions we landed on very soon.
Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were worth the wait. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Talk for hours and never slept. Two silhouettes on the concrete steps. We watched the sun as it slowly crept from the horizon to the place we met. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know.
Alright, well, while the rest of the world in the nearby region is being blasted with 55-mile-an-hour wind gusts, we've lucked out and found this very protected canyon. We're still getting some swirls, we're still getting some gusts, but nothing like what we were getting outside of the canyon. So, pro tip, if you're ever exploring the desert and the wind forecast is ugly, start looking for some canyons. Get on that topographical map, start looking for those sharp edges and roads that go through them. That's where you want to be. Early bedtime tonight, very little sleep last night. Hopefully Abigail gets a nice rest and we all get a good reset. So I'll see you on the flip side.
Here we go, night night. Can you say night night? Say night night. Night night. Hey, 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 you ready to eat? Homemade muffins?
Made those at home.
If you're wondering where our other child is, she's hit this phase where sleep is her thing. So the days that she gets to sleep in, she takes advantage of it. Doing some research on the weather though, we've got snow inbound. That wasn't in the forecast yesterday. So we're trying to decide if we want to sit it out here or maybe just go push back to the hot spring and see what happens. Decisions. Got some fresh coffee to think it over with. After some deliberation over coffee, we decided that while sitting in this peaceful canyon that was once home to Bob the Hermit sounded lovely, especially on a lazy Sunday, our desire to give the hot springs one more try before rolling west won out. And so, we packed up to continue the adventure. And I'm so glad we did. We're not ones to be like woo-woo, but you travel enough out here, you stay enough out here, you start to get vibes from certain campsites and stuff. Some of them are like, move on. Some of them just have this inexplicable spirit of peace about it. And I think his hospitality definitely gave this canyon some good juju, if you want to call it that. It's just, it's interesting to hear the stories. And probably before him, there were some natives that lived in this canyon too. There's just something peaceful about them. We love them. Ready to roll?
Ready. Ready, buddy?
So you see what I've been telling you. It's nothing like it seems. It's what I've been telling you. Oh,
you'd learn what I mean if you can't. But the risk, are you willing to take?
Alright, quick stop for sanity and lunch. Get Abigail out. I don't know if you recognize this spot because it looks totally different. And you probably can't hear me now anyhow, but this was one beautiful camp a few seasons ago. As you can see out there, the wind is whipping. There you go.
Get you out of the wind and out of that car seat. There's some bread. Let's see, where's that peanut butter? Way back here. Yummy.
Yeah. All right, quick little lunch. Boy, that wind is getting rough out there. So we're gonna go drive around for a bit during the worst of it. But on the way, I wanted to talk a little bit about this setup right here. I've not really covered it in any video yet. So on this dash, we have the Victory 4x4 mounting plate, and I've connected a bunch of different stuff. For starters, the camera mount, which is a Manfrotto base that I just drilled through and mounted, allows me to do some dash cam, you know, driving down the road, just reach over, click something on if a deer crosses the road or something like that. And this is my new favorite addition. So we've gone to quad lock instead of ram mounts. You know, we used to be a big fan of the ram mounts, but you always had to like have two hands to undo the X grips, and these are magnetic. But this is also a charging head. I don't have this one plugged in right now because I need to add some ports. But what we've got on this side is just wireless charging. So I can quickly pull this off, check something, and slap it right back on. It's charging again. The reason we went with this is because we travel off-road so much that where the cable goes into the bottom of the phone, we would actually destroy the charging jack and eventually just, you know, destroy the phone. And so going to a wireless charge has made all the difference in the world. Now, for arms, this is again another quad lock here. I'll go ahead and stop. This is their traditional style, so it's a twist and lock. And I've got a damper here, so we don't get a ton of vibration carried over to the screen. And then these are all arms from Small Rig. So these are about 12 to 14 bucks a pop, as opposed to going with something like a ram mount where you've got to build other pieces and whatnot. And these are a 1/4 so they screw straight into the Victory 4x4 plate. And then all we did was find an adapter that goes from these wireless charging heads to that 1/4 bolt. And man, you want to talk about just simple, easy, and honestly more stable than the ram mount stuff we've used in the past. I'm geeking out over this stuff. I'm not sponsored by Quad Lock, but I probably should reach out to them because it's really ingenious. I've enjoyed the heck out of this change. All right, folks, welcome to the ghost town of Joy, Utah. Now, so far, there's hardly any remains to even tell you that there was a town here, but there is one gravesite by a 19-year-old boy named Matt Evans, who, as legend has it, was kicked out of a bar in the middle of the winter and froze to death. And so he's pretty much all that remains. There is another figure from Utah's history by the name of No Nose Maggie. And apparently she ran a bar of ill repute, and during an altercation in said bar lost her nose. And she was actually one of the last inhabitants of this ghost town. She passed away in 1934, but she was kind of the last one to leave this ghost town. Looking at this place now, you just never would have imagined that there were families and miners and just all kinds of bustling activity. The wilderness has a way of reclaiming itself way faster than you imagine. Now, the story of Matt Evans getting kicked out of a bar and No Nose Maggie running a bar of ill repute. I wonder if they knew each other. Like a lot of these stories, though, no one knows, especially Maggie. In addition to the hot springs, beautiful landscapes, and ghost towns of the West Desert, there are also plentiful mines dotting the mountainsides, many with structures still standing and equipment left where it stopped nearly a century ago. While we rarely enter abandoned mines for the obvious safety reasons, this shaft looked more like a cave than a mine, and the many footprints indicated that it had been explored fairly often. So, I carefully eased my way inside. From my research, this particular mine was for manganese, but all the mines in this area had a mix of primary commodities consisting of gold, silver, copper, zinc, and bismuth as well. It's crazy to think that this shaft was once bustling with miners digging and hauling out the rich ore until it was either played out or just no longer profitable due to the expense to operate in such a remote location. Alright, I've been studying on the satellite imagery, and there's some potential cool mining sites up here. Unpredictable trails. So I'm just going to drop the trailer here, not get into a weird situation on some of these switchbacks and stuff. So let's see what we can find. With our curiosity temporarily satisfied, we headed back to the hot springs for our third attempt at a soak, and finally found it available and inviting us to relax after a long day of explorations. It's happening.
Let's do it.
You know, there are some moments that just etch into your mind and heart, and being here with my family for Abigail's first hot spring experience is one of those that will live on for us all. There's an inexplicable comfort and peace that comes from soaking in these ancient waters. We were beginning to wonder why we'd waited so long to pursue them.
She's like, hold on up.
What? Yeah.
After a tumultuous night at camp, we're going to roll back into town real quick, top off on some fuel, probably air up and relocate to a whole new area. We've kind of done some circles in this general vicinity, saw some really cool stuff, finally got our hot spring session, and as much as I'd like to go right back and just camp there again, we got more to see. We want to take you guys along for the ride too, so let's see what we can get into. As we made our way into Delta, Utah for fuel, we stumbled upon this memorial just outside of town and stopped to investigate. From 1942 to 1945, this now vacant land was operated as an internment camp, confining over 11,000 Japanese Americans forcefully relocated from the San Francisco Bay Area following the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor by Japan. Shortly after the attack, and regardless of their citizenship status, every Japanese person was considered a suspect and were rounded up and locked away for over 3 years in several camps like this. Strangely enough, their sons were offered the chance to fight in the war, and many took the opportunity to prove their loyalty. Despite the injustice, these volunteers joined the segregated, all-Japanese 442nd Regimental Combat Team to become one of the most decorated units in U.S. military history, while their families endured brutal winters and scorched summers back in the hastily constructed prison. This roadside stop was a somber reminder of the brutal decisions and heartbreaking results that were made when our country was forced into a world war almost overnight. It's incredible to think about how far we've come in just 80 short years to be driving Toyotas past a memorial to those who suffered as suspected enemies. The world indeed changes so quickly. All right, girls are inside Mickey D's grabbing us some lunch and trying to get aired up so we can do a little hop, skip, and a jump to a new area here. It is freaking cold though. That wind is brutal. After a few hours of driving, we arrived at what must have been the most beautiful warm spring we've seen yet, complete with waterfalls, lush ferns, and a cave. There was only one slight problem. This water was only about 79 degrees, which would be a welcome treat on a hot summer day, but not exactly great for keeping you warm on a chilly, blustery day. But there was only one way to find out for sure. I mean, we're not going to leave here without at least trying, right? Well, 79 degrees is not a hot spring. It's a warm spring, and the girls want me to test it for them. So, let's see. Is it warm enough for the little one to hop in? Not half bad. It's alright. Alright, it is just warm. That's it. In case you didn't know, our pup Ace is a Nova Scotia duck-tolling retriever, a breed that was developed to be a duck hunting dog in northern Canada with a double coat, webbed feet, and a natural instinct for retrieving and swimming. But today will be his first real chance to swim with us, since the cold winter months have kept us away from the water during his training process. And he's been a bit shy of the water without a good reason to get in. But now, everything is different with us in the water. And he finally got some courage with a little motivation from Caroline as he was baptized a water dog and began what we hope to be a career full of swims like this.
I got you. Woo. Good boy.
Well, maybe a bit more graceful with some practice.
This feels like a really bad idea. No, not the dog!
Tossed in like a castaway. What we wanted, not what we thought we wanted. Tossed in, you couldn't see it coming. What we needed, not what we thought we needed. Don't give up, don't give in.
Well, just like that, got even crazier. I was glancing up from the truck down there and I saw water coming out of the side of that rock. And I thought, wonder if there's a pool. Sure enough, it's a nice soaking pool up there. Maybe 1 or 2 degrees warmer. Still not quite a hot spring, but there's options. And by the way, robes while doing some hot spring hunting, absolute essential. Don't leave home without them. How was it? Was it cold?
Uh-huh.
How cold was it?
Good.
Are you warm now?
Uh-huh.
Good. You want to do it again?
Uh-huh.
Happy. Well, truthfully, I am so happy that I did it because it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But
If the
We
wind wasn't blowing.
yeah, and it was just a cold day, that'd be one thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was too much.
Something else.
Yeah.
You going night night?
Uh-huh.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes. After our soak, we headed west on dirt to begin our search for a camp, but the trails were about to put the squeeze on our full-size truck and trailer. I had secretly hoped for more groomed dirt to let us carry some speed, but it was clear the airing down was going to be needed to keep all of our feelings intact. If you're new to this pastime, airing down has many benefits. For starters, it's a way to reduce stress on the suspension and passengers by making for a more plush ride. It also improves traction by lengthening the contact pad of the tires and helps prevent punctures from sharp objects, kind of like how a half-inflated balloon is hard to pop. While most of the trails out here are wide and easily traversed, we seem to have a knack for finding the forgotten routes, and it wasn't long before we were crawling through neck-deep sage as we made our way along the dry wash. As we made our way into the Nevada high desert, the terrain began to turn white, and it wasn't long before we discovered that we were not alone, as Mustangs watched us meander through the sage and snow. These legends of the Wild West are descendants of the horses ridden by the Spanish conquistadors who explored this region nearly 500 years ago. Nevada is home to over half of the roughly 80,000 Mustangs running free on public lands in the United States. So, if you're as mesmerized by these beauties as we are, then Nevada should be on your bucket list to explore. Our drive west continued to get colder and snowier as we gradually climbed in elevation. We weren't too worried though, since our cozy heated trailer has made weather like this not just bearable, but enjoyable thanks to its refuge-like warmth. But we were about to realize something that would upend our peaceful evening. Oh boy. It's going to be a cold one tonight. But it's worth it. Look at this place. Wasn't even intentional, but there's an old mine right there. Crazy. It is so cold. Let's get some food in us and go to bed.
Right?
You ready to go get some food? Let's do it. That looks delicious.
Do Dada.
So what's this called?
Chicken and black bean Mexican soup. I don't remember.
Well, in true lifestyle fashion, right? Gotta have a little bit of drama. I got to camp. Beautiful camp. Looking forward to exploring the mining activity around it in the morning. Started going through, looking at the weather, and it's supposed to drop down to 6 tonight. Now, I would probably stick it out and figure it out and make it work. But this poor puppy, he's got a happy pee thing, so he can't sleep inside with us without, obviously, urinating. So we have to keep him snuggled in his insulated crate. But that's just pushing it. Not to mention the fact that I've only tested the trailer down to about 14, and that was pushing it. I mean, it was right on the edge. 6 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you in other countries. It's pretty rough. And that's our best projection. That's not even what it could possibly. It could be 0. There's other areas around here that are projecting 0. So, long story short, we're going to play it safe. We gained 2,000 feet in elevation without even realizing it. And so that's half of our struggle right now. Hence the snow on the road. Let's try and drop down in altitude or elevation and figure out what's going to work for us. You like those blankets?
No.
Yes. You getting baby to bed? And that baby. All right. Finally, at our second camp for the night. But temperature is much, much, much better. We're about 2,500 feet lower. You all right? All right. Let's get some sleep now.
Cheers.
Cheers. We survived.
We made a good choice last night.
Yeah, this beats snow-covered ground any day.
I mean, it would have been beautiful,
I know.
but we would not be out here drinking coffee together and having
No.
pancakes.
No, it would be huddle inside.
Or just go straight to the truck and find somewhere else to eat.
Yeah. No, this worked out good.
No.
And we would have never known about this second place to get into the spring, too.
I know.
I'll show you some pictures here in a minute. Moving pictures, also known as videos, of the spring. More coffee.
Are you good at the moving pictures?
And moving pictures! We should do a silent film. Yeah, we had to take advantage of the sunshine to dry out all of our hot spring gear.
Especially if we're headed to more.
Yeah. As it turns out, we made the right call, returning to a camp we had spotted earlier in the day near the warm spring, and woke up to 28 degrees Fahrenheit, or -2 degrees Celsius, with the sun quickly warming us into the 50s in just a couple of hours. We also found that the creek flowing from the warm spring had multiple access points further downstream, with areas to soak in, so we promised ourselves we would return in some warmer weather to give them a try.
Stay with me, never
Alright, well I think everybody's about ready to roll. No big hurry today. I'm going to cover some ground, head over towards a hot spring we've been dreaming about for a long time. I was hoping to take dirt the whole way, but that'd probably be another 3-day, 4-day experience. So we're going to hit the hard roads for a hot minute, get to the good stuff. And by the way, if you were watching our Arizona trip, you know we were having troubles out of that aux power box and the Renogy stuff not working the way I'd hoped it would work. I'm happy to report it has improved dramatically thanks to 2 things. One is I added a voltage booster to trick the smart alternator. So whenever you have issues like that, go all the way upstream. Check your ground on your main battery, check your alternator, and then consider maybe there's something more at play. And it was indeed the smart alternator. I knew it was going to be a problem. But I found a pretty slick little plug-and-play solution, and I believe it's called Voltage Pro, if I remember right. I'll put a link down below. That goes in place of the fuse for the small alternator. It's a diode, and you can do low power or high power, and you can adjust it to get about 1/2 to 1.5 extra volts is what I've been seeing. And boy, you want to talk about a huge difference. We went from seeing about, a little trash here. We went from seeing at best 5 or 6 amps going into the Renogy system to 21 amps. Still not the 30 that's advertised for, but shoot, that'll do it. That'll help quite a bit. Oh, and by the way, switched out those plugs to something a lot more secure, and we've not had anything rattle loose. Starlink has been running the whole time. The fridge has been flawless. I'm really enjoying this APL. I'll have to do a review on that at some point. But quick little update. Now let's get on the road. You ready?
Ready.
Let's roll. Not far from camp, we spotted some old vehicles left to spend their final days in the desert. But upon closer inspection, we found that they were still occupied by their owners. Just another reason why we love it out here. You never know what you might find in the wilderness. Wow, this is wood framing. Crazy. Good boy. You stay now. Stay. After another quick run along a stretch of pavement, thanks to the Magnuson supercharger, we dove onto the dirt and made our way to what we hoped would be a decent camp and a nice hot soak as the temps began to dip. Along the way, we were treated to more wildlife sightings, including this pronghorn buck and more wild burros than we could count dotting the desert floor. As we climbed the last hill and eased off the western side, we were greeted with a beautiful steaming pool and snow-covered mountains as a backdrop to our next experience. To make things even better, our friend Keith Kessler was making his drive back from a trip to Northern California and was able to cross paths with us on his way back to Arizona. So, we would be in good company. By this time, Sarah was starving, so I happily volunteered to take care of Abigail while she got dinner going. Of course, my babysitting plan was to hop into the hot spring, which Abigail had quickly come to love as much as we did. As if things couldn't get any better, we retreated to a beautiful sunset as the sun slowly sank below the snow-covered mountains, casting hues of orange, purple, and pink across the cotton candy sky. When it comes to creating core memories, this trip was already exceeding our expectations.
All right, for dinner we are having, well, it was supposed to be kebabs, but in the need of making this fast, it's just going to be ground. So it's basically like kebab rice bowls, or maybe we'll just call it Mediterranean rice bowls. Does that work? That works for me too. So we've got our cozy fire going, Abigail and Kevin cuddling. They had a lovely time in the hot spring. I haven't gotten to get in yet. But we're going to have some supper, hang out for a little while, see what happens. So it was supposed to be kebabs, but I was like, listen, we're just going to do it as a Mediterranean bowl.
I like that. It works well for me.
Now I'm self-conscious. Now it's even. Maggie would be proud.
Thank you. Cheers, thanks. Oh, you even have like fancy ice too. Man. That is nice, like during the summer, you know.
You gonna go swimming again? Yeah, get in the hot water?
Dad.
All right, well, good morning, folks. There are just some places on Earth that are unbelievably special, unbelievably beautiful. This is one of them. Abigail and I got a good soak in last night, and then I actually got back in around midnight for about an hour, sat there watching interesting things in the sky, as Nevada is famous for. Sarah and Abigail are in now, just making some coffee, and then I'll be joining them shortly. But there's rougher ways to make a living. We might have to add more hot springs to the mix.
Down?
Ready to move on?
Yes.
After our morning soak with coffee, it was time to hit the trail. But there was one small problem. Now, if you've been watching our adventures for a while, then you know that we have a bad case of the travel bug. So it's very rare for us to spend more than one night in the same spot. But as we headed for the trail, we found another beautiful hot spring tub that beckoned us to stick around. So, along with our good friend Keith, who had arrived the night before, we decided to halt travel for the day with less than 200 yards on the odometer.
That's hot, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, like, might be too hot for Abby.
Oh my gosh.
112.
119. That's too hot for us.
Yeah.
That's as hot as it gets at Death Valley. So I guess you can slide that pipe over
Yeah.
and let this cool, right?
There you go. Yeah.
That'll be much better. In about an hour or two. This one was a bit too toasty, since someone left the source running at full steam into the pool, taking it to dangerous levels that can burn the skin in just a few minutes. So we busied ourselves with cleaning up the area while we waited on things to cool off. Needless to say, this is why a thermometer is a must-have for hot spring hopping. After a couple hours, we were finally in business and hopped in for another long soak under the Nevada sky as we watched the sun set over the snow-covered mountains. How's it feel?
So good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes I wake up with the sadness, other days it feels like madness. What would I do without you? When colors turn to shades of gray with the weight of the world at the end of the day, what would I do without you? A decade goes by without a warning, and there's still a kindness in your eye. Amidst the questions and the worry, a peace of mind always takes me by surprise.
You like the splashing because Daddy did?
I feel like I'm walking with eyes as blind as a man without a lantern in a coal mine. What would I do without you? My imagination gets the best of me, and I'm trying to hide, lost at sea. What would I do without you?
Honestly, it was hard not to hit the trail today, since we do love to cover ground and find new places. But this year, we're doing our best to focus more on smiles, and not just miles. With a 2-year-old in the mix, we've had to dial back our time in the rig and make sure the explorations are enjoyable for everyone. While overlanders generally agree that the journey is the destination, what good is it if you don't take the time to soak it all in? No pun intended. Alright, fast little dinner. Girls are staying warm, catching up on some shows, drying out. Ace, you'll have to keep me company by the campfire, okay? You've already had food, you don't need mine. Good morning. Hi. Okay. You say good morning. Wakey, Mama. Wakey. Well, good morning, folks. Just a spectacular evening. Just sitting under the stars, hanging out. Wonderful, wonderful time. Now, we're going to take a little bit of a break and head to an Airbnb so we can do some laundry, catch up on some business, get a little editing done, and then we got another week of this ahead of us. So it should be fun. Right now, coffee time.
Several days? Yeah. I think I'm gonna probably get home, I don't know, either Saturday or Sunday. Okay. So, yeah.
Good to see you.
Bye, Abby.
The next morning, we said goodbye to our friend Keith and his Labradoodle Zoe as they continued their journey home to Phoenix after exploring Northern California the previous week. This wasn't the first time our paths have randomly crossed out here in the wilderness, and I'm sure it won't be the last either. It's always a welcome treat to share a campfire or hot spring with our friends. You ready to go bye-bye?
Uh-huh.
Where do you want to go?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So one of my favorite parts about going to a truck bed is when you're mid-trip like this and it's just chaos, especially with all the extra swimming gear and stuff we've been using in the hot springs, is you can just chuck it back there. There's loads of space. Got swimsuits drying out, everything. So let's head to the Airbnb and get reset. Good job. You got that? Okay. If you have kids, then you know how important naps are for keeping the peace. So, to ensure a good snooze for Abby, we slowed our pace and cruised the streets of Goldfield, Nevada, while Sarah gave us a road school history class on this iconic mining town.
Goldfield was founded in 1902 after the discovery of gold in the area, and it quickly became the largest and richest mining town in Nevada. In the whole of Nevada. Wow. At its peak around 1906, Goldfield had a population of over 20,000 people and produced more than 86 million in gold in the early 1900s dollars, that is. It was known for its grand buildings, saloons, and even had a luxury hotel, the Goldfield Hotel, which still stands today. However, by the late 1910s, the gold began to run out already after just 10 years. And a series of fires, including a major one in 1923, destroyed much of the town. As mining declined, so did the population, leaving behind a near ghost town feel. I mean, to put in so much effort for a luxury hotel. This luxury hotel opened in 1908. And then, the town started declining in 1910.
So in 2 years.
And was considered state-of-the-art for its time, complete with telephones, electric lights, and an elevator. It cost over $400,000 to build, which was a fortune back then. The legendary Wyatt Earp lived in Goldfield for a short time in 1904, trying to open a saloon. So in 1906, Goldfield hosted a famous boxing match between Joe Gans and Battling Nelson. It was one of the longest and most brutal matches in boxing history, lasting 42 rounds. Goldfield also became the county seat of Esmeralda County, a title it still holds.
So we were just talking about how just extensive this town is and how many people used to live here, and now it's just trash, just remnants.
The Goldfield Hotel, the ghost of Elizabeth. Perhaps the most famous ghost in Goldfield is Elizabeth, a young woman allegedly seduced by the hotel's original owner, George Wingfield. Legend says she became pregnant, and when he feared scandal, he locked her in room 109. She either died in childbirth or was murdered. Accounts vary. Her spirit is said to remain there. Visitors report cries for help. The scent of perfume, lights turning on and off, objects being thrown across the room. Guests and ghost hunters have said the elevator in Goldfield Hotel moves up and down even though there's no power or staff operating it. She's awake.
She's up.
Some says it's George Wingfield still roaming the halls.
Wow.
I love ghost stories.
After a long drive south, we arrived at an Airbnb in the historic mining town of Goldfield. Needless to say, rentals are few and far between in these less populated areas, so we were fortunate to find this little gym complete with a washer, dryer, and hot showers for our slightly sneaky crew. Got the laundry going hardcore over here. Great big stack of stuff to do. I hope we can get it done in time. And with my hard drives getting full of footage, this was also a good time to get some editing finalized without bouncing around in the passenger seat or hunkering inside of the tent for hours on end. We've come a long way over the years in our storytelling process, and switching from a power-hungry Windows gaming laptop to a MacBook Pro and iPad has made things so much easier and efficient. All right, well, good morning, folks. What? Just because I came from a new angle? I'm still the same guy. Good protective dog, I like that. All right, let's get buckled in, go get some breakfast, continue this adventure with fresh laundry and clean hair, smelling a lot better. Pretty cool spot for being in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I liked it. I was able to do laundry and clean up, so that's a win.
After 2 long days of editing and almost constant loads of laundry, we were caught up, freshened up, and ready for another round of Nevada explorations, starting with this car forest not a stone's throw from our rental. This is the International Car Forest of the Last Church, a quirky art installation featuring over 40 vehicles, most with their noses buried in the dirt or stacked on top of others. It's places like this that make the desert just a bit more interesting, though this art might leave you scratching your head just a bit, or perhaps mourning the burial of some of these classics. I guess I prefer my art on 4 wheels and fully functional. But as they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Now, it was time to head to Tonopah, Nevada for a quick breakfast at the Strawberry Hill Diner, where we scarfed down eggs, bacon, sausage, biscuits smothered in gravy, and a stack of strawberry pancakes for Caroline. Then, we headed for the store for the last item on our checklist, enough groceries for another long week on the trail. We've branched out and are trying some IceCo fridges in our setup this year. While the Snowmasters we've run in the past have been rock solid, even to this day, they're a bit more expensive. So we're giving these a run for their money so we can have a wider range of experiences to share with you. So far, aside from a couple small design quirks, they've been performing well for our use. The one in the trailer we have set up as a fridge, and the one in the truck is set up as a freezer to extend the life of our perishable foods and allow us to bring ice cream along for a treat. It's also a nice addition to be able to freeze ice cubes on the trail as well. Deceptive amount of storage up there.
So much. I was telling Kevin I need a little step stool. Just to, because I will fill it. If you give me the space, I will fill it.
After packing away what looks like enough food for a small army into the trailer's ample cabinet space, we were ready to top off on fuel and head into the wild again.
All right. Well, our little tour of Tonopah is almost over. Got to grab a little more caffeine because my coffee wasn't really hitting the spot this morning. But our little buddy, he's sniffing. He got a special treat here. Oh man, what is that? Oh, it's stuck on his lip. He's like, I shouldn't be doing this.
He's being all shy about it.
I know.
As we headed south, we made a last-minute decision to swing into a ghost town that popped up on the map. And wow, am I ever glad we did. Welcome to Gold Point, Nevada. As we meandered through the dusty, deserted streets along rows of weathered shacks with their namesakes faded almost beyond legibility, we wondered to ourselves just what kind of residents would want to live here full-time. No sooner than we thought it, we rounded a corner and were greeted by a friendly hello and smiles from a husband and wife who were busy repairing one of the buildings. In our travels, we've learned there are 2 types of people who live in ghost towns: those who are there to be left alone, and those who are there to share in the experience and keep the stories alive. Fred and his wife were thankfully of the latter mindset, and were soon showing us inside to see the buildings they were in the process of preserving.
We cleared out a few things that were in there and put all our junk in there, and the rest of it is just how we bought it.
Wow.
Our thing is we'll probably keep this stuff pretty close to what it is.
Yeah.
So the gal used to do exactly this, give tours to people.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
So we're doing the same.
It's so cool that you guys do that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And this isn't even the cool part. The coolest part's down at this end.
All right.
The last room is the mercantile. It's like a shop.
Yeah.
And then we believe this was their kitchen, dining room.
Yeah.
This was their sitting room, and then the bedroom.
And these are just picked up from around here, I guess, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
Room after room, shelves upon shelves of relics from the old mining days sat coated in dust and organized by size, color, and type. Fred is retired now, but purchased this and several other buildings in Gold Point to help preserve the past while being surrounded by its rich history. In addition to this passion, he is also a county commissioner for Esmeralda County and works to better his community in more ways than one.
So these water pipes, and it went up to that water tank up on the hill.
Crazy. So that's just wood and it's wire wrapped, huh?
And the couplers are just the same thing, but they're just bigger.
What?
Yeah, they have the wires.
What a way to make a water pipe.
Yeah, right?
After our little tour, Fred pointed us to the saloon and said that we should check in with Walt, another resident and caretaker who would have the saloon open to visitors. And so we marched our little family to the Horn Silver Saloon to meet our next tour guide. Walt welcomed us in and encouraged us to peruse the extensive collection of antiques in the saloon and suggested we camp out back for the night since he would be opening up the bar tonight for ourselves and some others that were on their annual visit from Oregon. Well, how could we say no to that opportunity? How often does one get to belly up to a bar in a ghost town and actually get a drink out of the experience?
This is so cool.
It's so wild.
So we parked our trailer in the camping area out back, disconnected, and headed off into the nearby hills to see what other surprises were waiting for us while we waited for evening to arrive. Gold Point has been through a few name changes over the years. It originally started as Lime Point when a small silver deposit was discovered in the 1860s, and a tent city sprang up about a half mile away with about 50 miners doing their best to scratch out some fortune. Then, in 1908, it became known as Horn Silver when a richer silver strike was discovered that gave the town its real boom, with nearly 1,000 people flocking to the area. About 225 buildings popped up along its streets alongside canvas tents for the miners, but by 1909, legal disputes and processing expenses brought everything crashing down. Almost overnight, the bustling town became quiet as people left for richer opportunities elsewhere. But its mining story wasn't over. In 1927, gold was discovered in the area and quickly became the predominant resource, prompting its final name change to Gold Point to better reflect its primary pursuit and hopefully draw in new miners and shop owners. Then, in 1942, when the United States entered the Second World War, all unnecessary mining activity was basically outlawed, as manpower was needed for the war efforts instead. This sealed the fate of this once prosperous town. Following the war and after decades of decline, Gold Point was nearly lost to time. But in the late 1970s, something changed. Herb Robbins, a man with a love for the Old West, discovered the ghost town and saw its potential. He began buying up old mining claims and cabins, many for little more than back taxes. Alongside his friend, Walt Kremen, Herb started the slow process of restoring Gold Point, one building at a time. Today, Gold Point stands as one of Nevada's best preserved ghost towns, not because of big funding or tourist gimmicks, but because two people believed it was worth saving. Well, this was unexpected.
Yeah, super cool.
So awesome.
I spy with my little eye a little trailer.
We've been to a lot of ghost towns, quote unquote. But this one takes the cake. This is so cool. So many artifacts still out here. All the equipment, most of the equipment still sitting here. Very cool look back in time. We're gonna do something we don't usually do. We're gonna actually pay to camp right in town, because apparently there's enough of us in town for the saloon to be opened. Well, you gotta stick around for that, right? You just had a bath. Don't get dirty. Oh gosh. After exploring the outskirts of town, we returned to camp behind the saloon for an easy dinner as we waited for the highlight of our visit to begin. What delectable goodness are you cooking up for us tonight?
Grass-fed all beef hot dogs.
Ooh, they got fancy cuts on them.
I did do fancy cuts.
Flavor enhancers. And chili. Oh my goodness.
No bean. Oh.
Nothing beats an old-fashioned chili dog.
With the last bit of colors fading from the setting sun, we strolled down to the saloon to find Fred, Walt, and a few visitors gathered around the bar, sharing stories and sipping cold beverages.
Hello there.
Hey.
Walt saw Abigail talking to an antique hobby horse and without hesitation pulled it from its perch and let her trot around with it for its first ride in what had to have been over half a century as Sarah and Caroline shot pool together in the back. As I sat here listening to Walt and Fred talk about the town, I was overwhelmed with how special it was to be a small part of the ongoing history of Gold Point. This is a night that will forever live in our memories. I'd like to say thank you to Fred and Walt for sharing this truly incredible town with our family. We can't wait to return one day and see just how far things have come.
Good shot.
The first one that went in was hers.
Oh, nice.
Now that one's hers. Yeah, Karen.
Wow, all right. Oh. Good morning. Sure. Did you say morning? Well, good morning, folks, from a ghost town in the middle of nowhere, Nevada. Last night was just so cool. You know, those are the moments that we pursue. Sometimes they're beautiful camps. Sometimes they're meetups with folks in need of a recovery or help. Sometimes, and even more rarely, you wind up at a ghost town and the saloon opens for you and just a few others who happen to show up that night. Making some memories on this trip. It's one of the reasons that I love what we do. Morning, Tiffy. Now, it was time to say goodbye to our new friends in this incredible town as we headed deeper into the Nevada wilderness to see what we could find.
Oh, look, Daddy even has your night-night in here. Oh.
I could see through all the faces telling me to find my place, and I'm so close that I can taste it on my tongue. Tell the king he's overthrown, follow where the river's flown, underneath the water cold, all overcome. Never tired, we never drop. What's inside can't be stopped. Light it up, light it up. Light it up, light it up like the sun. Light it up, light it up. Light it up, light it up like the sun.
As we made our way along the trail, I noticed an icon on my navigation app for a post office. This usually means that at some point there was enough people in an area to need one. And seeing as how there were no houses for miles around, it would likely have some interesting remnants to investigate. Well, it seems like a crazy spot for a post office, but I thought maybe there's a foundation or something left behind. Clearly lots of artifacts to say there was a settlement of some sort, a mining operation or something. In this thick sage, I'm just not seeing anything. And they wouldn't have put it in the wash. It's got to be up here. It's always impressive to me how many post offices there have been in some of the tiniest little spots. Look at this. Wow. An old spade. Crazy. What's this? As we made our way over the pass, we rounded a turn and found snow and mud from the spring thaw, awaiting another unsuspecting victim. We clearly weren't the first to be held up in this spot from reading the tire tracks of other travelers, so I decided to hoof it up the road to see what we were getting ourselves into. Got a little bit interesting right here at the top. Let's see how bad it is. Whoa. That goes way down there. Just this one section, maybe 100 feet worth, but I think we can send it. I'm a little bit worried about this softness here, and I don't want her to slide that way if we can help it. So it's only about 100 feet or so, and there's a couple spots that could get us in trouble, but it clears up nice and dry just around the corner up here.
Okay.
Since I walked it and I know where those points are at,
Okay.
let me drive and let you kind of film what happens next. We've been overly cautious lately with our full-size truck, fully loaded trailer, and family on board, so we were getting kind of tired of turning around. In this situation, with high banks on either side of the trail and plenty of winch points for the tundra, this was a low-risk opportunity to really send the Grizz and let that Magnuson supercharger do what it was designed to do. A little bit of excitement. What'd you think, Ace?
Got it to the top.
Oh, wow. With our slippery challenge behind us, thanks to some forced induction momentum, we took a few minutes to take in the views while eating a trailside picnic lunch. It wasn't long before we noticed something glinting in the sun just on the edge of the sagebrush and found even more traces of a long-forgotten mining camp. Look at how big this is. I don't know what that was. Some sort of like wash basin? Or is that a necessity pot? Is that what you poop in? Or pee in at night? I think that's what it is.
I don't think so.
It's awful decorative. Let us know in the comments. What do you think it was? I love just kind of poking around and just random bushes while we're stopped for lunch and stuff. And I already found some pretty cool artifacts. But I think I actually found a grave site. And this is a very fitting place to be laid to rest. But tell me what you think. Does this not look like a grave? There's a definite outline of rocks right here. It looks like someone's laid a little tribute there or something. So pretty. And the reason I say that is there's just no other rocks like that laying around anywhere. Is it ready to roll? You ready to go? No? You got a splash? One more big splash. More splash. Woo. The treasure trove of historical artifacts continued as we made our way westward off the mountain, driving past claim after claim with equipment simply left behind after their gold or silver mine was no longer profitable. You could spend a lifetime just exploring all these old mines. It's so cool to see some of the ingenuity that these guys would come up with. As the shadows began to slowly lengthen, it reminded us of our promise to keep these travel sessions no longer than 6 hours or so for the sake of keeping it enjoyable for the little ones. And so, our attention turned towards finding camp. With Nevada's plentiful hot springs carefully marked in our GPS apps, we began making our way towards one of the more popular options. But we couldn't just hit the pavement, could we? Nah. We had to find the most direct route possible using dirt instead. Because, after all, we're overlanders, and pavement is lava in our minds. And so, while keeping one eye on my apps and another on the trail, I began to put together a route that would keep things interesting while taking the most direct route to the springs. Or so I thought, until these wide, fast-paced trails began to narrow and washouts became more and more frequent along our way. Well, this is about as tight as it gets without being too tight. We're brushing rocks on both sides of the trailer tires. Just easing our way through this sage. I'm hoping, because it just gets tighter and tighter, I'm hoping that it meets up with this next trail and opens back up for us, but still, it's beautiful. It's been a fun ride. Sarah, my ever-patient wife, began to give me a bit of side-eye as our progress slowed to a crawl, which is always a good indication that I might be pushing things just a bit. But I could taste that perfect link up to the road we needed just around the next bend. And the next bend. And, well, you get the picture. Days old. Thankfully, this is all just a dry wash. The road shifts with every flood, but I'll take a peek ahead, but looks like we've already got an old 2-track right here that we'll use. Well, on a good day, I'd love to get the winch out and pull these out of this wash, but you can see that there's an old trail over here as well. These dry washes, they shift and they change with every flash flood. So I don't have a lot of heartache about moving to the side. Someone's already started pushing these down over here. But we just don't have anything strong enough to attach and winch these rocks out of the way.
So we're just going to ooch past them this time around.
This rockfall area was yet another warning that perhaps this route wasn't traveled all that often. But like I said before, I was tired of turning back and wanted to see this route through. Plus, giving up now only meant guaranteed extra hours carefully picking our way back to the main trail. After all, we were in Nevada, and I was ready to roll the dice on what was ahead.
It just keeps getting tighter and tighter. Man, I hope this thing opens up. It's going to be a long haul to turn around. And I think the tightest is yet to come.
After another grueling mile down this ever-narrowing trail, I myself began to doubt this track. And between dodging rocks and sage, I was able to load some satellite imagery of the area, and it didn't look good.
I was looking at the satellite imagery. I think it ends. So, I'll have to find a spot to turn around. Map's wrong.
And if that wasn't sign enough, the trail decided to sneak in a tall rock and add some insult to my injury.
Well, that's not good. Yeah, we're high centered, so just gonna dig out, maybe throw some rocks in, see if I can't get back off of it, and then figure out how in the heck. This might actually be a decent spot to turn around right here. Holy cow.
Thankfully, the RCI skid plate saved her underbelly in spite of my injured pride, and a few strategically placed rocks made this a simple extraction. But now, not only did we have to backtrack on this brutal, grinding trail, we also had to find a new alternate route, since the map info I had been using was clearly out of date. The hot spring camp I had promised the wife and kids was starting to look less and less like a possibility, though I could feel the temperature rising with the hot water I was already in. After backtracking, I found another option leading us toward the springs and said a little prayer that it would get us there without much more drama. This route was a challenge all its own for a full-size truck towing a trailer, but there was no turning back in its tight canyon walls, so we pushed on. Looking back, I'm kicking myself for not filming more of this route because it was actually a lot of fun in spite of the circumstances. But it didn't come without a price, so stay tuned for the damage assessment. Finally, we rounded the last switchback and found a smooth 2-track stretching out into the distance as we struck Nevada gold in the form of a sunset, casting breathtaking hues across its landscape.
I'm gonna be a little lover, hiding under cover in the pouring rain. I'm gonna be the one you see before you close your eyes. You could be my honey, I could be a little bit of sunshine. I'm gonna kiss you in the morning, miss you when you're gone, and write you every day. I'm gonna be the one you call and talk to all night. We
the smooth, graded roads, we were able to let the Magnusons sing the song of its people and made it to the hot springs just in time to cook dinner in the fading light. There was just one problem. During our tight descent, our trailer dislodged a huge rock on a tight switchback, then rolled over it, dropping its full weight right onto the fender and bumper, which drove it into the kitchen slide path. But after a little field modification, we were ready to cook. Nothing like some product testing to get your appetite up, I suppose.
Now we can cook, huh?
Now we can cook. Every day. What's for dinner?
Beef stroganoff with meatballs and noodles.
You may not get the job on the top floor. You may never find what you're looking for. You may not find the strength to climb that hill. But then again, maybe you will.
You may never find the person of your dreams. You may never get your wings. You may never find a place to just be still. Then again, maybe you will. Birds fly through the air, but they ain't got a care. And the trees, they keep reaching towards the sun. It's a miracle we're living in a world that's always spinning. It'll still be spinning when we're gone.
While our day was filled with challenges and some disappointing setbacks, it all faded away as we ate a delicious home-cooked meal alongside this hot spring. There was one more surprise waiting for us, though.
Whoa. What is that?
Oh no, there's something in front of it, though. Look at that. Just as we were cleaning up the dishes, the sky lit up as what looked like a meteor or satellite burned up in the atmosphere over our Nevada camp. Whoa.
Is that a spaceship?
Let us know what you think it was down below.
What is that?
Quite the spectacular finish to our adventure-filled day, don't you think?
What is that?
Satellite.
Oh, it's a satellite. That's crazy. That's so pretty.
I miss home, but there's a feeling in my bones, like a part of me don't know what home is anymore. And all these lines keep me frozen in time, while the ones I love keep moving down the line. Sometimes I wanna be on my own, but I don't wanna die alone. If it weren't for your love, then I'd be gone by the morning. Ooh, hold on, honey. Someday's gonna be one day soon. They promised home, but I've heard all that before. And all the blood I poured won't be your free ride back to shore. I've been thinking that we all want a taste of fame, but lately all I hope is that my kid's proud of his name. Sometimes I wanna be on my own, but I don't wanna die alone. If it weren't for your love, then I'd be gone by the morning. Hold on, honey.
Someday's gonna be one day soon.
Oh, man. Well, after a crazy day yesterday, this is a nice reward. I was a little concerned we weren't going to get our few minutes in here just with how many people are camped out, but they kind of recognized the fact that we were a family and wanted to get a few minutes in here, so they kind of dispersed. So it's hot, though. We're supposed to hit 80 degrees today, and this isn't exactly the same level of pleasure we'd get when it's 20.
Yeah.
But, man, so get us a nice little soak in. Head back into town for fuel, hopefully some water, and then head out. Woo! Whoa. All right, everybody, ready for some more education? This is what's known as a coot. The American coot, technically. And basically a water chicken. They have massive feet because they run on the water to escape predators. They can fly, but they usually choose not to. They're pretty cool. While we try to stick to dirt as much as possible, it was time to relocate to a whole new area, so the ARB dual air compressor was called into action. If you've been watching us for very long, then you know this format has been our go-to for airing up duties since 2014. Oh, and we're not sponsored by ARB. Recently we've added an automatic air up tool to the mix to be able to set the pressure and walk away, which is handy for when you're checking the rig for road travel, making a sandwich, or changing a diaper. Eventually, this unit will have a permanent home in the tundra, but you can't beat the versatility of a portable case for now. After about 20 minutes, all 6 35-inch tires were aired up for high-speed travel. Now, I know there's plenty of fancy air-up options out there these days, but this tried-and-true combo is hard to leave behind. Let us know about your favorite air-up method in the comments below, and maybe we'll experiment in the future.
All right, buddy boy. Ready to go bye-bye? Okay. That was graceful, Ace.
Alright, back into Tonopah for a little bit of fuel. Sitting on empty. The light hadn't come on yet, so I'm just curious to see how much reserve this truck actually has, because I know it is deep. Alright, there you go. That's really a deep reserve. Next on the list is some water. We are at a week and a half now. Still good. Still got probably enough to get us by, but just for emergency purposes, I like to keep it as topped off as possible. It does add a lot of weight though. It's a trade-off. Alright, so it was non-potable up at the Love's travel stop, so we came down the road just a little ways to the RV park. All good to go. $5, topping us off.
More water.
The water maid.
Ready to go.
After a long day of pounding pavement, we couldn't stop thinking about an area we had visited a week or so ago, and since it was on our way north, we decided to pop in for a familiar, predictable camp before darkness caught up with us. This time around, we found a livestock tank someone had repaired with heavy plastic, and after some cleanup and improvements to the liner, we all slipped in for a quick soak before dinner. Tonight, Nevada was ready to show off again and gave us a beautiful sunset to enjoy as the light slowly faded away to the sounds of wild burros braying from the sage, making for a magical yet comical end to our day. It gives you something to do, doesn't it, boy? What's for breakfast? Ooh, that looks delicious. You ready to go bye-bye? Yes.
Sun rises behind her eyes, but she still can't see it. And she's beside me, I walk slowly. She feeds my soul all the gold I could need. This whole time I've been searching for the wrong thing. She's my captain, she's the sea. She's the sun on my back, baby. She's my captain, she's the sea. She's the sun on my back, baby. Believe me, believe me, believe me. You found my heart in my mind, fighting for my bones. And I'll never have to break the code alone. She's the kind you only find in a story. I've never had anybody fight for me.
While we really needed to be covering some distance today, the temptation of another hot spring, not far off our intended path, completely distracted us for a bit. And while it was a little too warm of a day to properly enjoy it, we still had no regrets for the experience. Now, it was time to hit a trail you might have heard of a time or two. In fact, some might say it's one of the most infamous routes in all of the Wild West, though it didn't take long before we were second-guessing our width on this stretch of the Pony Express. After threading our way through the trail and dry wash, we found some smooth sailing as we made our way across the valley to the next set of mountains. Pronghorn and mule deer were plentiful along the way and kept things interesting as we began our hunt for camp. Fingers crossed, the trail up and over this low pass would have some good options, but it would seem our luck was about to run out. As we drove, the trail got tighter and tighter, with no camping options in sight, and then we were stopped in our tracks when around the next bend we found icy, slushy, muddy snow on the trail. We have not been able to catch a break on these even mildly high passes. Some of these shadowed areas are just still sloppy and snowy. I don't know if this is doable, y'all. Not with a trailer and no lockers. Before pushing on and putting us in a bad situation just before dark, I sent my handy eye in the sky up for a look to see if this was just a lingering patch or if we would have worse areas to deal with. Our little scout saved my bacon this time around, as we found multiple areas with deep drifts, which would only complicate an already tight route for our full-size Tundra and trailer. And so, we reluctantly began the arduous task of backing up to find a wide enough spot to reverse course.
Daddy.
Oh well.
Yeah,
I tried.
Hi Dad, hi Dad, hi Dad. The whole time. So you're gonna have that going in your background. No, we're gonna ride in the truck now. We gotta go find a camping spot.
It's like Rising of the Dead over there. Well, our best laid plans did not work out, so took the smart decision, found the first camp that we could. And let me tell you, something about Nevada, there are few and far between when it comes to just wild camps. Loads of trails. You can go anywhere, basically anywhere you want to go. But don't expect to find little campsites alongside the road. This one is barely a campsite. This is just some little spur that went to some prospect. There's some really old cans, so someone camped here probably 50 to 70 years ago. And we're just going to make do. It's not level. It's just going to be camp for the night. And then we'll get up and try again in the morning.
I have a tendency to laugh at all the wrong moments. Sometimes I forget the words to my own songs. I'm not the silent type, or an exit sign, or a yellow brick road. You are the one thing that I know. It's in the wine we drink, dirty dishes in the kitchen sink, and the lights go out till the sun comes up. We are not alone. It's in the miles we drive, never having to say goodbye. It's the things we tell each other without saying a word. You are the one thing that I know.
All right, well, good morning, folks. Camp worked out just fine, but I wanted to mention this spectacular puppy just turned 1 year old. He's awesome. He's awesome. He's definitely feeling his oats right now. He's in that teenager stage, but he's still a very obedient, very fun, great traveling dog. All right, well, let's get some coffee in us, a little bit of breakfast, and continue the journey to the hot springs that have eluded us thus far.
It's in the wine we drink, dirty dishes in the kitchen sink, and the lights go out till the sun comes up. We are not alone. It's in the miles we drive, never having to say goodbye. It's the things we tell each other without saying a word. You are the one thing that I know. It's in the wine we drink, dirty dishes in the kitchen sink, when the lights go out till the sun comes up. We are not alone. You are the one thing that I know.
Nature's chew toy. Yeah. Hey, no bite. No bite. No bite. Good boy. we've run into a snag. We were going to go up here to access the national forest, but private landowners have not only gated it, but also locked it. Though not very well. So this is a common practice by ranchers and such to keep the public out of the public lands. It's unfortunate. And truthfully, if this was a critical artery, I'd probably go ahead, but I'm just not interested in arguing with anybody today. I do enough of that with a toddler, so. I'm gonna whip it around, find another way. So you can see our confusion when at the turnoff, there's a sign welcoming you to the National Forest. All right, so just trying to figure out how to get around that mountain there. And as you can see here on Gaia, there is no road. On Goat Maps, there is a piece of a road. And then on Google Earth, we're actually showing there is indeed, with the satellite imagery, a good road. And it's going where we want it to go. So having multiple sources makes a big difference when it comes to navigating BLM land. Especially here in Nevada. We've seen so many roads that are not on any map, and we've been following potential roads that did not exist. So roll the dice. There's a lot of ground to cover, and not a lot of people live out here, therefore the emphasis on updating maps and creating maps for these areas isn't as high as it is in other locations. So just carry a little extra fuel. We're bringing about 8.5 gallons of extra fuel with us just in case, and we might have to use it today. We'll see. All right, another gate. Now, if you're not used to traveling out here in the West, you might look at this and think it's a closed fence. Now, this is actually a gate. And here in Nevada, you have some of these contraptions. Now, this one's broken, but if it was in place, you would actually lift up on this handle here. Usually it's tied down. You lift up to reduce the tension on this guy. Just gonna put pressure here, pull that up over the top, lift this out of its little hoop here, walk it out. Keep it straight though. Keep it tightened up. Back in its hoop. Sometimes you gotta help it, and then just lean into it. Some of them are tight. Back over its hoop, just like that. Sometimes it's just barbed wire. Sometimes it's baling wire. Might wear gloves though. It's always handy. You wouldn't want to get tetanus out here. Oh man. See, our diff is dragging, so we're trying to split the difference. Oh man, definitely wouldn't do this trail if it was nasty and muddy. That thing would bury you. It's hard enough dry. This is beautiful, though. Hopefully we'll see some wild Mustangs here in a bit, because their poop is everywhere. Feel like I'm up on the stagecoach. Yeah! Get up there! Yeah. Wow. It's a falcon and a raven fighting. With another hard-fought trek across these Nevada trails, we finally arrived at our destination, only to be faced with one last obstacle. But it was apparently nothing that Sarah, in a supercharged Tundra, couldn't handle, especially when she smells a hot spring nearby. Apologies for the rookie mistake in not zooming out to show the whole shot. I was holding my breath for this send it moment and got a little distracted. Abby, look. What is that? You ready to get in?
Oh, it's beautiful. Wow. I like that big old beetle.
Oh, look at it bubbling up over there.
Oh, yeah.
You wanna go eat some lunch and then go swimming? Okay.
All right, a little business before pleasure. Someone has absolutely trashed this area, so we're gonna pick up what we can. Just make it look a lot better. Get some glass out of the way for the girls as well. Now, with our newfound oasis all cleaned up, we could take a deep breath and enjoy the experience as we let our frustrations with past users fade away and focused on the magical moment of slipping into this turquoise geothermal pool. All right, Abby's down for a nap. Caroline's doing school. Time for a midday little swimmy swim. Just keeps going. Are you standing?
You have all my tippy toes.
Wow. Oh man, that is perfect.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is like...
I woke up with you on my mind. Watch the air turn as you breathe. Yellow morning feeling up your eyes, waking up the life in me. You set my soul on fire. You pull my heartbeat toward the sun. You give me new eyes open. You call my heartbeat into love. There's a quiet moving in your ways. It's a peace I've never known. Build my anchor, throw it in your waves. Slow it down and call you home.
Our peaceful little soak has quickly turned into not so peaceful. Let's batten the hatches. Woo! Well, as you can probably hear, it got a little crazy outside. So, Abby and I are in here eating my homemade smoked beef jerky. Whoa. Come on in, Sissy. You're welcome. You think it's that good? The next morning, we emerged from our rig feeling refreshed and revitalized after our glorious swim in this unearthly pool. Our explorations of Nevada and its remote hot springs was honestly one of our most favorite adventures yet. And that's saying a lot after over 11 years of overland travel. And so we said our farewells to this land of warmth and seclusion as we reluctantly pointed our rig back home. Nevada had genuinely surprised us with its beauty, plentiful trails, and just enough challenge to keep things interesting. Even though we were tired from a few weeks on the road, we were already dreaming of returning to explore more of this mesmerizing land. Thanks for riding along. Until next time, stay curious and remember to leave it better than you found it.